Yo friends, happy rainy spring day. I wanted to talk about one of my biggest regrets from the past year of work here at my food forest and hopefully help you learn from my mistakes and then talk about what I'm doing to kind of remedy that. So we moved onto the property about a year ago, and one of the first few days on the property was a rainy day like this. We got about an inch of rain within a 24-hour period. The creek is really rushing, and I found there was some areas of the property that were pooling water. Actually, it was right over here where I saw a lot of water being gathered. And my initial instinct was to just go, just take care of the water right now. And so I saw water pooling, and I started digging a small little pond and also a trench leading overflow to the creek. You can see the remnants of some of that here. This was the original garden bed line, so I dug the pond right outside the garden bed, and it's still kind of sunken down here, this potato patch, and these potatoes are suffering for it. I didn't put enough fill in. I also dug this trench over to the creek, and I've recently filled that in with these wood chips. I regret this because I didn't follow one of the basic rules of permaculture, which is to be patient and observe. And I had observed a lot of water our first day on the property, and I was like, oh, it's always going to be this way. I have to plan for it always being this way. I also didn't spend much time on the property and didn't think about what this whole garden area would look like in a couple years. I just saw what it was immediately and tried to respond. I wish I had just waited and been a little patient. I found that other than this really rainy, few days here in spring, this area is generally pretty dry. We'll get even some rain during the summer wouldn't cause this pooling that we're seeing here now. This is really just because of all of the spring rains we're getting. So I really could have just done nothing last year, just let the water pool those few days and then moved on. That would have been fine. Now that I've had a year to sit and think about it, now that I know what the garden space is looking like, I'm doing some long-term planning. So here with the setup I've done, I know that it's going to pool water here every year, and I don't want it to do that. I want to create a new low point on the property for it to pool water where I want it to. And I'm pretty okay with it pooling water just outside this fence. I don't plan to really grow anything here because of the heavy deer pressure. It's mostly going to be a place for collecting wood chips. So here I am digging a small trench and small little pond here to shunt water from this and have it overflow into that small pond. That's also an area where I can grow some wet-loving plants and let them enjoy being kind of flooded, or it can be a vernal pool. I'm okay with it having water some times of the year, knowing that it'll be pretty dry for the rest of the year. I didn't really have this on my list of things to do today, but because there is water, it's just easier to work with the water, it's easier to plan. So I'm building out this pond here, and I can see if it's working or not. It's starting to actually fill up, so I know the work I'm doing is creating a low point that's drawing water from here over to here. I also regret digging the trench, shunting water to the creek. I realized that water is a precious resource here, and creating things like little pools that let water sit and stay for a while and slowly soak in is actually a really good thing. It helps store water underground, and as opposed to just kicking everything to the creek and letting it run off. So I'm trying to think of more ways I can store water underground, store water in pools and let it soak underground over the period of time here. I'm trying to find more ways to do that on my property. Anyway, learn from my mistake. Don't just react. Take time to sit and observe. Let your land teach you what it wants to do, and make small corrections as needed to help it along. Don't just react like I did. Have a great day, spring. Have a happy spring and a great day, friends.